What is going on, guys? Welcome to the vlog. It's been a minute. How are you? How have you been? Hope you're enjoying the content that we are putting on this channel. And by we, I mean myself and my dope-ass team behind me. Let's go through a little bit of update, shall we? So it's been a busy little bit here at the academy on the back end side. We've had an influx of students, which is a good thing. And really, we're just ready to put this next step in motion. So one of the most exciting things that I have to tell you guys with the academy, if you've been following us on Instagram or if you follow myself on Instagram, you would have seen this already, but I'm gonna give you a little hint. So I have kind of the classes that are offered here on the window. It's gonna be in reverse, but yeah. So if you can't read backwards, that's BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We are now finishing off our trifecta of martial arts here at the academy. And it's honestly is a huge step for the academy, and I'm gonna tell you a couple of reasons why. Number one, I've never had another instructor come in to teach regularly who hasn't been trained under me, for example, my assistant instructors, or doesn't do Filipino martial arts. And for the longest time, this school has been kind of known as a Filipino martial arts academy, and we've been pretty successful at that, competing with other schools. I'm gonna get to the business side in a bit, but when we talk about the martial arts side, so one of my good friends, Adam, from high school, he's been doing jiu-jitsu long time. And we finally found a medium where we can come together and agree on something where we're both going to benefit. And so I'm excited to have him lead the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program in this academy. Very knowledgeable, very technically skilled practitioner. And so I'm going to do my best to help him on the back end side and support him on his role in becoming an instructor here. And it's just super exciting, man. On top of that, I get to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I get to do it in my own gym with the people that, you know, I'm familiar with and you people. So it's gonna be another journey that I'm partaking in. And as much as I love Filipino martial arts, especially because I am Filipino and the pride I have to share, you know, my motherland art, so to say, at the same time, you know, you can't be ignorant and say that your martial arts has everything. Doesn't matter what kind of art you do. Even for those that say MMA is a martial art, so to say. You can't have everything. And so this is kind of the note that I wanted to talk about a little bit. And with specifically in Filipino martial arts, you know, a lot of the times you'll meet a Filipino martial artist who's really good with sticks and knives and, you know, sword concepts, weapon concepts to be general. And a lot of the times you'll hear a lot of Filipino martial artists say, if you train in FMA or Kali or whatever name they use, you'll learn everything. You'll learn striking, because there's, you know, panantukan or mano-mano, which is hand-to-hand. You'll learn weaponry, of course, with the stick and double stick, knife, so on and so forth. You know, grappling, you know, there's essence of dumog or whatever grappling concept is part of their system. But for the most part, and I'm not saying this applies to everyone, but for the most part, they will specialize in one area only, or maybe two at most. And I'm sure there are decent Filipino martial arts systems of grappling out there. Are they readily available? Not exactly, at least not around here. And on top of that, not a lot of people will look at it and deem it interesting the same way that, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has. So that's a little bit more on the business side, which I'll touch base in a bit. But sticking on the martial arts side, I'm not going to be naive and say that the grappling that I know is enough. It's complementary, it's good. For the most part, it can seal the deal, depending on how I look at the scenario. But the goal of Union Martial Arts is and always will be producing the most well-rounded students. So I used to have 3 classes, and I don't like having more than 3 classes because I think it becomes just like a martial arts buffet. And, you know, to specialize in each and every single one of them, it's kind of a long shot, and it doesn't really give the student much guidance if you say that all of them are good and you have, 8 to 10 to choose from. That's a lot of time and commitment to even, get good at one of them. So which one do I choose? So I try to keep it to 3. And the 3 that I had was, of course, the Kuntao, which is kind of our karate, the Kali, and an extension of Kuntao was kickboxing. So we'd have a lot of boxing techniques. We'd have, full contact sparring, and we'd have different things that we didn't normally do in the Kuntao class. But a lot of the techniques, a lot of the structures were based from that because that's where, my foundation is. And if we look at it in a general martial arts zone, those 2 fall under the striking area, right? Kuntao, kickboxing, both striking. Kali, we can call it weaponry. So the one that we were really missing was grappling. And so by extending kickboxing as a striking Kuntao class, I gave room for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and that is our holy trinity of martial arts. And I think it's very important as a martial artist to not fall under the clause of, I'm not sure if clause is the right word, but to fall under the thing like, oh, if it's not part of your system, then it's something else. It's a whole different martial arts, and that's not how we do it. And at the same time, again, it's kind of being naive where I'm gonna call it Kuntao because that is what I do teach. That's what, I have a very strong foundation in teaching, and I know the answers in Kuntao, but that doesn't mean I can't evolve it into adding these, Western boxing or Thai boxing techniques, interpretations of striking, and, essentially evolving and making Kuntao, at least the Kuntao I teach here, better than what it is. And just because my instructors didn't teach me that doesn't mean I can't take the due steps to make it better. And I think every instructor should be doing that. And I think everyone has a right to do that as long as you're in it for the good reason of, expanding your knowledge and being able to make sense of it all in different lights. Of course, you could be a little bit shady and say that, I've done a couple classes and we do everything here. We do everything. It's kind of like that Filipino martial arts mindset again. So I'm completely against that. And because I don't have that extensive grappling background, I decided to bring someone else in. Not only is it someone who has extensive knowledge in a grappling art, it just so happens that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the name of the game right now. It's exploded. Everybody wants it. So on a martial arts side, it's good because we have all areas. On a business side, it's great for, number 1, student acquisition, students that were looking for grappling but couldn't find it here. Student retention, students that were thinking about training somewhere else, but now we can offer pretty much anything that they were looking for in a certain form. And it's just a beautiful harmony. So tonight is actually Adam's first official class. We've already gotten some positive feedback, so I'm super excited to train. I'm super excited to get to know everyone, meet new people, grow the business, grow the gym. If I sound a little nasally, it's because I was sick yesterday. But that's pretty much what's happening tonight. So I'm just finalizing all the back end stuff, slowly finishing and finalizing all of the aesthetics in the gym to make it feel like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is 1/3. It's not Kali and Kuntao featuring Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's the entirety of practicing martial arts here. So yeah, that is happening. If you guys are in the area and you guys want to roll with us, if you are interested in a free trial, you can head to unionmartialarts.ca and you can book your free trial. And for every new student that supports this new class, we are offering a free gi to let you train. So no excuses. All the equipment you need is right here, supplied for you. Get started, get rolling, and go ahead and kill it. All right, so I apologize if this vlog is super boring or monotone because there's nothing else interesting going on. But I wanted to post this vlog, number 1, catch up with you guys, but number 2, I wanted to share a little bit more business experience and a little bit of tips for those that are looking to start their own gym or start their own fitness program or start their own business, so to say. And the reason why I want to do that is because you guys got my last vlog to 1,000 views, and that's the first time ever, so thank you guys for that. What I want to talk about in this vlog is work-life balance. And this will vary between people. It just so happens for me that my passion, what I really, really love doing and what I can find myself doing in my spare time is martial arts. So my ratio is a little different than most people, I would say. But I'll kind of put you into a perspective of what I do and how I'm able to balance, doing all these things for Union Martial Arts, but also still being myself. So I'm lucky that two of my closest friends train with me. So we not only have a common area where we can hang out with each other, but we also can still be our own individuals outside of the gym as well. I pretty much do everything in Union Martial Arts when it comes to the Instagram, when it comes to the YouTube channel, which is now my channel, when it comes to the marketing, when it comes to the accounting, the back end, like memberships and all that, and as well as teaching. The only place where I do have help is in the last one, where I have assistant instructors that have been training with me for a while, and of course now Adam, our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor, they are able to fill the small gaps when able. With that being said, I still carry the majority of the load because it is still at a point where I can't have someone full time, but that is the ultimate goal, is to have instructors in here where I can kind of disperse my time elsewhere. And that's where I'll kind of focus a little bit more on the apparel, or I'll focus on other projects. But in this current time, this academy needs me here physically and mentally more than ever, because we're on this kind of positive scale right now where I feel like if I leave it, if I try to take my foot off the pedal, it'll go, when I could be up here, I'll probably finish down here, and it's within reach, so I'm kind of going on overdrive right now. But with that being said, so the academy runs Monday through Saturday in terms of actual classes, and then the office work is usually done in the mornings around lunchtime. I have a couple private students here and there, but for the most part, it's done at sporadic times. Sometimes I work from home, sometimes I come early and I work here. But generally after about 2 o'clock on Saturdays, when the academy closes, I pretty much shut off everything. And I know that I have some work to do, and sometimes, I'll push through it, but I spend a lot of that time just being a human being outside of martial arts. And I think it's very important that people do that, because not everyone in your life likes martial arts. So not everyone in your life will care about, your business endeavors. They'll support it, but there's more to life than talking business all day. And I think it's very important to know the difference of being what you do and loving what you do. And I had my business mentor ask me that. And if you are what you do, then everything about you is martial arts. You live martial arts, you breathe martial arts, and there's nothing else, which is okay for you. But you have to understand that, just like me bringing Adam into this academy, greatness in life, whether it's personal happiness or financial happiness, or it's a business, it's achieved with more than one person. And so you can't expect to be happy if the people you love most don't enjoy the same things as you, right? So you also gotta have to be yourself. I love doing martial arts, but I know that I can shut it off and do something else, like anything else really. And I don't have to talk about martial arts all the time, and I don't always have to constantly train. Even though something in my brain is always ticking, I know how to shut it off, or at least reserve it till Monday comes around and I'm back on it. And I found that successful for me. It might be different for you when you shut it off or whatnot, but I think it's very important that you have that opportunity to do so. And if you don't, I think you're gonna burn out very quickly. I used to be all about martial arts, back when this gym was a lot smaller and I didn't have all these things, and I didn't, get to a certain point where I can kind of relax. Well, not really relax, but like scale with more mature eyes. It's kind of like I was going head first because I had no other choice. But now that I'm at this point where I've obtained something that I've been training and working so hard for. Now that I've attained it, everything in my body tells me, okay, well then, since you're here now, since it's reality, push 10 times harder. And I think that's where the on and off switch comes in. It's, you know, having this gym already proves to me that I'm doing something right. And now it's about, you know, scaling, but scaling long term. I might reach a very high point, but if I burn myself out, that's it. I'm done, right? And the last thing you want is to burn yourself out on a lifelong journey. Something like this is going to be, you know, essentially what I do till I die. So I got to be able to be long term, and I got to be able to see ahead and be able to balance certain things where I'm not always teaching, and I'm not always, you know, working, and I'm not always training. Like, there has to be breaks, there has to be in-betweens where I can kind of reset myself, or, you know, just take a step away and breathe fresh air and be able to just be a human being. So make sure that if you guys are doing this, that number one, you're in it for the long game. And in that long game, it's okay to, you know, log out. It's okay to not necessarily take a break, but, you know, take a step away for a second and enjoy life for what it is, and then get back on it. Because the more you force yourself and the more you work when you're unwilling, and you don't have that, you know, creativity in your head, and you know, the candle wick is done, the harder it's going to be for you to really bring your business or bring your passion to the next level, because you're just burnt out. And you have to remember, you're the brain, the bronze, everything behind that. So without you, there is no passion, there is no project, there is no union martial arts. So you got to make sure that you take care of yourself at the same time. But that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little tip. If you guys did and you have other questions, please make sure you comment below. And I will see you guys hopefully sooner than later. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I would highly, highly appreciate that. Make sure you check us out, unionmartialarts.ca, online tutorials, FMACONCEPTS.com. Blade Tactics is being filmed soon. And until next time, catch you guys then.